What's up? It's your boy Face Phoenix. Let's talk about weddings. Let's talk about that wonderful day that every little girl dreams about. That day that she says to herself, I've finally done it. I met the man of my dreams, and now we're going to be together forever. It's a great thing. I definitely believe in marriage. Marriage is something that we all should do. Well, maybe not all of us. Some of us should be alone for life. But I believe a lot of people should be married. It's a great thing. Only thing I hate about marriage is the wedding. You want to know why I hate the weddings? You really want to know why I hate weddings? It's because nowadays, people who have no money think they need to have these mega weddings. They won't have one of these bridezilla moments. It's like if you're broke, you can't afford to have one of those mega weddings. The reason I'm bringing this up too is because I have a friend. She told me when she got married, that was like 3-4 years ago before I was hanging out with her. And she was telling me, she said, yeah, when I got married, me and my husband, we spent like $10,000 on our wedding. $10,000 on a wedding. Now I'm thinking to myself, you're not part of some rich family. You're pretty much broke. You pretty much don't have a whole bunch of money yourself. And then when she told me that 4 years later she was still paying for the wedding, I was like, why would you do that? Why would you waste $10,000 on one day? I wouldn't do it. $10,000, you could buy you a car. $10,000, you could put a nice down payment on a home. But it seems like young women nowadays are kind of like, delusional about this. It's like weddings cost cash if you're stupid. If you're smart, you can have a wedding for a reasonable price. Like I heard people say, I got married in our backyard. I said, cool idea. You saved a lot of money. Like one of my friends named Danielle, when she told me about how she got married, it was a very smart idea. Because her and her boyfriend were thinking economically about it. Because when she told me that we went downtown, went to the Justice of the Peace, got married, came back home, and we had the reception in the backyard, I was like, you know what? That woman is smart. Your man is lucky. Because she understood I don't have a lot of money, and I'd rather spend that money on a house. Meanwhile, in that same time, this woman was telling me this conversation, my other friend is telling me, the friend with the $10,000 wedding, that, hey, why would you do that? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. It makes no sense to save $10,000 you could put towards a house that you put into a wedding that you're still paying for 4 years later. It's ridiculous. It's crazy to do that. Like me, I tell you right now, I don't mind going all out to have a very special day for that lady you love. But I do have a problem with going in debt for some stupidity. I'm like, I feel like this. If you want to renew our vows and we've been married for 10 years, $10,000 then does not mean too much to me at that point. Because I'm like, we've been together for 10 years. It's well worth doing this for her to make her feel special. But somebody I just met and we get married and there's a possibility we get divorced in 1 year and then we both got split $5,000 each? No. Well, I tell you, you got to think economical. And the reason I say that too is because, back in the... Well, as I say, it's not too far back. People with money used to pay for the wedding. So father of the bride paid for the wedding. Nowadays, everybody's paying for their own wedding. So it kind of makes me sit there and say, why would you put yourself in debt when you didn't have to? Because men, I especially feel sorry for you guys. Because you got to buy the ring. You got to pay for part of the wedding. That stuff adds up fast. And then I think when people had student loans and had that on top of it, dude, you're better off just getting married at the Justice of the Peace, get married at your local church, have a small ceremony. That's all you gotta do. Because when I see hear about these ceremonies people have where they have like 10,000 guests or have like 800 guests, I'm like, do you know 800 people that you really want to come to your wedding? I don't. I tell you, my wedding, if I ever got married, that one's gonna be mad small. It might be 50 people, and that's stretching it. I think it'd be about 20. That's all I really want. But with women, it's like, you guys are going crazy. I gotta get a special maid dress. Hell no. Get a white dress you have. Let's go get married and be done with it. I don't need to buy no tuxedo and all that other stuff because I'm like, all that stuff adds up. Because I think about you got to have photographers. You got to have a florist. You have somebody to make a special cake for you. You got to have a limo driver. All that money? No. Especially when you can do it on your own. Because I'm like, if you've been married and you have wealth, it's no big deal. But if you're poor as crap and you have debt already, it really doesn't make sense to do that. Like I was talking to my stepmother about that. She was saying that when she got married to her husband, they did the big wedding like we're talking about right now. Then she said her husband went kind of crazy. He's like, we're going to buy a brand new house. And she's like, oh, okay. And then we're going to buy 2 new cars. New cars. And she was like, oh, all right. No more than 4 to 5 years later, she was getting divorced. You want to know why? Because they had crushing debt over their head. And she told me, she's like, I tell you right now, half the reason I married your father, because he was not in debt. He had, economic sense about what to do. And I was like, there you go. You guys are thinking about your future. Why ruin your future for one day? Because I'm like, I understand everyone wants to be beautiful and women really want something special. And you can still have something special even on a budget. There are plenty of parks you can go to get married in. Very beautiful public areas. There's no need to go all out and kill yourself on debt. So I'm like, I would never spend $10,000 on a wedding. And then now me, I'm being cheap saying $10,000 because I know people who spend $100,000 on weddings. But in those cases too, some people who spend $100,000 on a wedding, their father was paying for it and their father was wealthy. See, that's why I want to tell a lot of people, if you're poor, understand you're poor and don't do nothing stupid like that. Pay for do what you can afford. Like, I know I can't afford a $10,000 wedding, so I wouldn't attempt to have it. Not to say I wouldn't want to give the woman of my dreams that special day that she's dreaming of, but I'm like, you also got to think, I want to be with you forever. I don't want to have to, have this special day, and then every day I'm worrying about paying that bill off, or paying that credit card off, or paying that loan off for that. I say there's barely thing you can do with your money. And that's why I feel, before you get married, or before you decide to have a wedding, pick the right kind of setting for that stuff. Think about the economics, because you're trying to build a future with somebody else. And that's what a wedding is. That's what marriage is building a future with somebody else. Why build a future in the hole when you can build a future on solid ground? So I said, please think about things before you do it. It'll help you out a lot of ways. So I'll wrap it up on that one. Be economical. Think twice about things. And I always say this, can I afford to do this? Credit is evil, and I don't mess with it. So I put it like that, people. Hang tight, hold the ones you love close, and peace out.